I just wanted to mention as well, because you mentioned about one of the environmental factors of
Mm.
mutations. We're in Tennessee at the moment,
Mhm.
and when John first brought me here in 2019, he introduced me to a very well-known geological layer known as the Chattanooga
Mm.
Shale, right? Named after Chattanooga, which is just south of
Mm.
here where we are. But it spreads over an enormous amount, almost a third of continental USA. So it's a pretty large deposit, definitely a flood
Mm.
deposit. It's Devonian, it's full of plants that shouldn't really be there. But the interesting thing about it is actually mildly radioactive. So it does have some implications for people who choose to build their houses on it. But what we found interesting is on the surface, most of the time, the radioactivity doesn't reach you. It doesn't do much until you dig down into it,
Build a
like a
basement.
basement, for instance,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
you need to have a road. And so you'll actually make a road cut through the shale
Mm.
in order to put a road there. Now, of course, road cut means you've now got cliffs basically right at the side, big sharp cliffs, and plants will naturally begin to break down the rock and start to grow in it. And as we were moving along the Chattanooga Shale one day looking for these fossils inside of it, we noticed that in this road cut almost every single plant was a mutated variety. And no, it wasn't getting better. It had curled up leaves. It had yellowy patches where the chlorophyll couldn't function properly. It had somewhere the plant would grow and then would just end up stop growing and end up being a little stump at the end, right? Highly mutated plants, and they were all along this, but just outside, growing on the top, they were absolutely fine. So it appears to be where you've had this radioactive material come to the surface, be exposed, and your plants are now reacting as a result of it, and they weren't evolving, they weren't getting better, they were going downhill for sure, right? So this environmental factor really is a serious thing, particularly if you expose yourself deliberately by digging down into radioactive material.